guys, welcome to my channel. Today I want to check out and react to Charisma on Command. The video is called This Shift in Masculinity is Scary, and it's about how masculinity today is so passive and so different than what it was back then, and how we can help men become men again, you know. And I don't know what the video is about, so I'm going to be reacting to it right now, but I have a feeling that I'm going to be agreeing with it. So let's go and check it out.
Something bad is going on with young men. It's bad for them, and it's bad for the women around them.
True.
I have been feeling and seeing how poorly young men are doing.
Why are men and boys struggling?
Why are men in such crisis?
And what made me really see it is a bit silly, but stick with me here. It was the Amazon Prime show Reacher. Now, if you haven't seen it, Reacher is a show based on the Lee Child novels of the same name. They're action-packed male fantasy fulfillment. And in them, we follow Reacher, the impossibly jacked wanderer who miraculously doesn't go to the gym and eats whatever he wants.
There's no way. How?
How do you eat like that and still look like you do?
Like this.
He kills bad guys, saves the day, and beds a new woman most every book. This is nothing new in the male fantasy fulfillment genre, except there is something that's weirdly new. In the show, Reacher, who is the most assertive, dominant action hero you could ever imagine in your wildest dreams, never initiates anything sexual.
Anna, wash your mouth, boss, you're catching flies.
He's entirely passive with his female leads. We barely even see him look at the leading lady, who inevitably has to make the first, second, and third move before throwing herself at him. Now, this was not the case in the books from the early 2000s. It's an amendment from the 2020 show.
Dude, it just becomes like a fantasy of this guy who every guy wants to be. You want to get the girl in every town you visit, and Jack Reacher fulfills that fantasy.
And just so you know that I'm not exaggerating here, in season 1, after asking him to dance and hanging out in a hotel room with him in her underwear, Roscoe literally has to walk in on Reacher showering to make something happen between them. And she, of course, leans in for the kiss in case he didn't pick up on her intention. In season 2, Dixon indirectly asks Reacher out at work.
Thanks for the spoiler!
Can you buy me a drink?
I was about to watch the series.
I gotta keep working on these reports. Maybe next time.
Oh!
Then
he
she
denied
directly
her.
asks him why he didn't do anything about it.
Is that why? Back in the day, you and I never happened. I mean, come on, Reacher. It's not like I didn't drop any hints.
Then she has him play doctor with a wound on her breast, and when he doesn't lean in, then she finally throws herself at him.
You don't have to be lonely tonight.
As the relationship continues, she makes every overt move.
Shot at by hitmen and almost blown up. I mean, to put it mildly, I've got some pent-up tension.
Season 3 is the same exact dance until Duffy finally just leans in and jumps Reacher.
I can still make sure she stays safe. I know it's important to you, so I want to make sure.
So is that the secret?
Later, Reacher bashfully compliments her, but of course can barely hold eye contact.
If he cheated on you, he's an idiot.
Well, that's actually like the fact that he actually said that means he said so much. For a guy like him saying that, like, he definitely gave her a sign there. If you are saying that that's a passive and he said nothing, nah, he said a lot with that.
And in the middle of tactical planning for a coming shootout, she completely jumps Reacher's bones.
You really want to make me feel better?
Oh yeah.
I got an idea.
Now, I'm not saying that we should go back to the
eyes.
cardboard cutout female characters with zero agency. The male fantasy genre 50 years ago had its own issues.
Man talk.
Oh.
What I'm saying is that if
Men
Reacher is the
talk.
updated male fantasy, we need to ask ourselves, what does this fantasy of sexual passivity tell us about young men today? Think of.
By the way, I'm sorry. I know it must be really terrible, but that's kind of a turn on. The way he said, like, men talk, go. Sorry. I don't know. Is it me?
About that. Because before of sexual passivity tell us about young men today. Think about that. Because before I give you my answer, I want to tell you about the male fantasies of my bygone era, the 2000s, and what they told us about my generation.
Man, that's my
You see,
generation.
when I was a teen, there was one movie that mirrored the dream
90s,
of so many
2000s.
young men and their hopes about women. The Girl Next Door.
Yeah.
My God, did this movie hook me.
I
Yep.
personally kind of find it a perfect film, in my opinion, at least.
It's the teen fantasy that lit up the early 2000s. The Girl
Yep.
Next Door became an instant cult favorite.
Yeah,
In
I
it,
wanna
Maddie, who
rewatch
is played by
it.
Emile Hirsch, has a stunningly beautiful girl move in next door to him. And when she does, his entire life is turned upside down by her impact on him.
Finding that one thing you really care about. That one special thing that means more to you than anything else in the world.
Now, the fantasy, which is specific to the 2000s, is that she sees something in him without him doing anything stereotypically attractive. Maddie gets the girl of his dreams just by being his nerdy, previously unnoticed self. She literally appears next door and just likes him. This was, of course, my fantasy and the wish of many mathletes across the world.
Be yourself. She will come.
I'm all wet. Can I come in?
Oh my God.
But even though Maddie is smaller and nerdier and way less capable, there's one thing he has that Reacher doesn't. He is undeniably attracted to Danielle. His desire for her cannot be hidden or suppressed, and his victory is in acting on that desire despite not being the stereotypical hot guy. In the Act 1 climax, which is such an iconic scene that I wish I could just play it outright, Maddie's at a party, and the jock has just slid up on his girl. Maddie is out.
Man, what's up? Can you come here for a second? Yeah.
Oh, no, it's cool. They're pals.
Danielle is now with the jock because, come on, look at that guy. And just as Maddie's about to leave in defeat, something shifts. Maddie acts on his desire, and we get one of the defining shots of my teenage
Hell
life.
yeah. Aw.
Maddie wins because he goes for it. He doesn't do a million push-ups or beat anyone up. He just goes for it. This is the inverse of Reacher, who is
And now
super
if
high
you
agency
go
in
for
every
it,
action scene.
You're harassing.
You boys know what's about to happen to you.
It's
You
not
think now.
romantic.
So I'll give you to the count of 3. 1.
But totally passive around women.
Good thing I'm doing the asking. Come on.
Now, of course, this is a teen movie and Reacher's action-based, so maybe it's an unfair comparison.
Yeah.
So let's look at an action film from the same 2000s era, Casino Royale.
The name's Bond.
Oh my God, that was in the same.
We have the same impossibly capable lead who kills bad guys and gets the girl.
Doesn't bother you killing those people?
I wouldn't be very good at my job if it did.
But in 2006,
So much more
he of
serious.
course still wants her. Bond's desire for Vesper is immediate, and he's anything but passive in communicating it.
I'm the money.
Every penny of it.
So, as far as I can remember, in the 2000s, male desire for women still existed in that stereotypical male fantasy genre. Victory came from risking
Always
rejection
like
to
that.
act on that desire.
That one
Yep.
special thing that means more to you than
Yep.
anything else in the world. And when you find her, you fight for her. You risk it all.
And a capable man could handle rejection without forcing the issue or getting overly flustered. And this is what worries me about Reacher. Desire for women, and if it were gay it doesn't matter, it's desire for sex, for intimacy, for a relationship, it's all gone. Sure, Reacher's a
Yeah.
participant, but he's not an active initiator. And by
Yeah,
the
he
way, I
doesn't
see
care.
the same thing in a lighter form in 2019's Witcher.
They say witches can't feel human emotion. What do you believe in?
Geralt
I don't care what he
acknowledges
feels,
his
I know what I
attraction to Jennifer, but it's her initiating at every stage.
But you can't contend with me.
Sorry.
Sorry I couldn't be direct. I knew you'd fight it.
Now, perhaps I'm extrapolating based on just one show and I'm reading too much into it. But consider how broader media habits have shifted since the 2000s. It had its serious issues, but TV required you to feel what you wanted. You had to tune in at a particular time to watch your show. You had to select the
Yep.
YouTube video based on a title that said, "This is what I want to watch." Sure, we had the
Yep.
channel surf, but every millennial knows how miserable of an experience that aimless searching was. Now the TikTok mentality is basically, I don't know what I want. feed me anyway.
What happens when you're just scrolling and you just can't, like, stop?
Well, social media has essentially taken human connection and turned it into a drug.
The moment you turn it on, it's like playing you a new thing, playing you a new thing. You're like, "Ah!" and you just sucked into it.
And it's not miserable. You can be entertained for hours without once feeling your own desire. So that's the meta landscape that this is occurring in. But there's also what I hear from young men. Up until a few years ago, I had never spoken to a young man who planned to spend his 20s on his business and his money and his health while ignoring dating completely.
As a man, you need to, before you get into any relationship, build your frame as a man, build your internal kingdom.
Staying single put you ahead of everyone. Everyone. Just think about it.
Just go fucking monk mode, everything, like as long as it takes.
Yeah, I do understand that, but look, this as long as it takes, because for some people it will take so long that it's kind of too late. You know, I completely understand the point as well of focusing on one thing, because if you focus on one thing and you put all your eggs in one thing, the possibilities and the chances of it becoming a successful thing is higher. It's not necessarily 100%, but it is definitely higher. Like, I understand that aspect, but I also don't like the mentality of like just ignore every other aspect of your life, because balance is very important, and to be a full human being and to be genuinely happy, you need to balance every aspect, because sometimes it could be too late. For example, let's say family members, parents, and you are neglecting your parents and your family obligations and your holidays and stuff like that in order to like go grind and work, and now you are successful, but you lost your parents a couple of years ago and now there is no coming back, you know? Like, this is the thing, like, you never know when it is too late for, and maybe if you deny all the opportunities, maybe the one person that would have made you happy is gone now and married to someone else. So I don't really agree with the idea of just focusing on one thing and nothing else.
Get to the top.
And that's now something that I've heard repeatedly. And I don't think that's the purely rational monk mode move that it's sometimes framed as. I think it's the result of being raised in a world where feeling your own desires, particularly the sexual and romantic ones, was more dangerous than ever. And in part, that's because rejection in the social media era is so much more public. And perhaps it's in part because the Me Too had a chilling effect, not just on the men that we wanted it to, but also on the young guys who weren't quite sure where the line between healthy romantic initiation and cancellation-worthy boundary crossing was.
I often hear from men that they are now more reluctant to go up to a woman in a bar or whatever. That there's this problem of fear of being falsely accused of something, and
so they chose to just avoid the whole thing altogether. And I think that,
and like even like you see at the gym, like you just pass by a woman, oh my god, I got harassed at the gym, and they make a content out of it on TikTok. The guy just walked past you, you know, like there is no personal space there. And this is the thing. And now they are so scared of this. And besides being scared of denial, now they are scared of being accused of harassment. That's why now women have to go for what they want and need. And it's not natural. It's completely unnatural. And it's not making anyone happy.
That's where this passive fantasy we see in Reacher comes from. It's the wish that if you're maximally capable, you won't ever have to face rejection from a woman. You'll never have to even initiate. It'll just find you. And that scares me, because we need men who are connected to what and who they want, who are capable of risking their egos to pursue those desires, and who are capable of dusting themselves and their egos off in the face of rejection. If you don't have that, if you can't feel your most raw, instinctual desires, you will spend your whole life as a sheep. You'll chase socially approved stepping stones, telling yourself that one day you'll go after the real thing. So you can make money, sculpt your body, build a social Rolodex, but you do it all in avoidance of the things that you really want. So my advice to you is that if you find any of this compelling, ask yourself, where in my life am I avoiding what I deeply want by telling myself that I need to focus on stepping stones? Is there someone that I'm attracted to, but I won't ask out until I have that six-pack in 6 months or 6 years?
Which is too late.
Is there a business that I want to start,
but
I won't begin until I have the right made-up credential? Is there a creative project that I haven't shared because I'm not yet perfect enough at that thing? And if something comes up, my advice is to go for it. Risk rejection.
Exactly.
Especially in a world where everyone else is distracted with imaginary stepping stones. The person who can risk rejection and pursue their deepest desires is the one who winds up leading. Now for me, skipping stepping stones meant that I had to take a good hard look at my social life. And when I did, I realized that I wasn't approaching the women that I liked the most, or asking for the promotions that I wanted and felt I deserved, or connecting with the people that I admired, all because of social fears and awkwardness. And if this issue sounds familiar to you and you want to stop putting off solving it, you might want to check out my course, Charisma University. It's our
Of course, there is a catch out there. You don't need a course.
30-day program.
Nobody needs a course. Like, everyone is different, and every person individually functions differently and learns differently. If you are going to teach me how to live life, then there is something wrong out there, because you can only teach me how you lived your life and what worked for you, which might not work for me, no matter how many angles, perspectives, and ways you are going to try to teach me. Best advice is just to go for it. And with each rejection, with each failure in life, that's the experience you get. That's how you learn. Every mistake you make teaches you to become a better person in every sphere of your life. So you have to go out there and you have to make mistakes. You will never be perfect, and you will never be 100% ready for anything in life. And that's the thing. Like, I keep looking at my, for example, career. Let's talk about YouTube. I am not perfect. My YouTube channel is not the best. I know that. And I have been doing this for a decade, and I still make mistakes, but I still keep coming. I still show up. I still try to be a better version and a better YouTuber every single day. I try to learn, and I see myself improving and being better maybe 10 years from now. Who knows? I'm not giving up. And that is the thing, but I do know that I am better than where I was when I started. But that's because I kept going and I kept trying. And with each failure, I kept coming back and I kept learning. That's my process, and I am fine with it. And I'm fine with keep trying and keep going forward, because I develop as a person, and I'm not where I was yesterday. And tomorrow I might be even at a better place because I kept showing up. And that is the thing, you guys. I do have a friend. I'm not gonna, of course, name the friend. But that friend of mine is waiting for the right moment to open a TikTok channel or to open a YouTube channel for at least 5 years now. I don't know when that is gonna happen. And I told that friend that they should just go for it. But they're just waiting for the right moment, and the time is passing. If that person started 5 years ago, that person could have learned so much in 5 years. That is the thing. You just have to go for it. And some people are ready to do it. Other people are just waiting for the right time, and there will never be a right time. You just have to go for it. Please just go for it. Easy as that.
You unlock the confident and charismatic person that you already are deep down at your core. And here is what can happen when you do that straight from the students' mouths. I don't even have a bachelor diploma, yet they want me to fill this position. And when I asked why, this was the answer. You have great social skills, which is rare for an engineer. You can think quickly on your feet, and you are open and self-assured in your demeanor. Thank you so much for all that you have taught me. You have truly changed my life, because without Charisma University, I wouldn't have qualified for that position in a million life.
How are we gonna know that? How are we gonna know that?
Lifetimes. Or check out this student's experience with dating. Loving the course. I've liked a girl for over a year now, but never thought much of it because I thought she was just too pretty. Took your lessons, gave things a shot, and now we are dating. And try this one out for friendship. It has been truly incredible. I have instantly had results that seem insane. So many more meaningful conversations. My friendships have improved, and my interactions with total strangers.
I genuinely don't understand that mentality of needing someone to teach you how to live life and to pay for them to actually do it. I do understand that there are people who need help here and there, but couldn't you try to find help for free online? Because the internet has so many free resources out there that you can go for. And at the end of the day, there's probably at least one person in your life that you know on a personal level that is doing better than you. that you can talk to genuinely and honestly and ask them for their experience. The more people you talk about it, the more people you can perceive and just share with, the easier you can learn as well. Like, you don't even have to do your own mistakes. You can learn from other people's mistakes by just listening to them. And there is so many stories out there of what people did wrong, how they did it wrong, how they improved. There are so many documentaries out there. So if you do the research, you can become better. But at the end of the day, you have to go and put the work in. There is no amount of money that you can pay that can like make you tomorrow a different person. You have to put the work in. That's all I have to say.